Howdy. I'm Alan. I'm Carolyn's younger brother. She has two brothers, and I'm the youngest of those two. I want to talk about the first time I met Bob. That was in 1972. We were having a family reunion at a beautiful location in the Colorado Rockies called Taylor Reservoir. And my sister had just gotten married to Bob. We had not met him yet. So we were camping out at the lake, and lo and behold, Bob pulled up on a Harley with my sister behind him. Now, this is a little bit non-congruent with how we perceive normal reality. Let me explain. My sister, as many of you know, is not exactly a wild woman. I would say quite the opposite. So when I saw Bob and her on a motorcycle, it was kind of like seeing a Hell's Angel with Mother Teresa riding on the back of the bike. Now, I'm not saying that Bob was a Hell's Angel, but he certainly could have been one if things had been different. Anyway, we started to get to know him, and we all liked to fish. So one morning we all went out fishing, and my mom was preparing breakfast in the small camper trailer that we had. And my mom was a very proud person, and she was very emphatic about the fact that she was a professional cook. Not just any old ordinary cook, but a professional cook. And that is because she used to prepare meals for hundreds of people. She worked for the Boulder Valley School District in their lunch program, and she worked at the University of Colorado in a large dormitory for many, many years, cooking and preparing meals for lots of people. So when we got back from the fishing trip that morning, we walked up to the trailer, and Mom didn't have coffee ready yet. So Bob, introducing himself with his unique sense of humor, yelled out, "A good cook would have had the coffee ready by now." Now, my mom also tended to be a little bit on the sensitive side, so she responded with, "What? What?" That's a story that we told for many years. We all broke out laughing after that, including my mom, after she realized that perhaps she was taking herself a little bit too seriously. And that was one of Bob's personality traits. He kind of liked to find out what makes you irritated. How can I push your button to get you to laugh at yourself a little bit? And sometimes that didn't always work so well. I just also wanted to say that Bob was a very, very smart guy, even though he had a limited education. I'm not sure how far he went in school, but he had a grasp of things. He had a very curious mind. He was always asking questions, and he could have an intelligent conversation with anyone who had a lot more education than he did. He was unique in that way, and he was also an unknown American hero in a war that was called a police action back then. But we all know it was a war in a little country called Korea. And Bob won the Silver Star for bravery, the third highest commendation for bravery by the military, by saving his platoon one night in a battle, I think it was called the Battle of Bloody Ridge. His group, his unit, perhaps a platoon-sized unit, had been trapped by Chinese forces, and they were trying to escape the area. Bob told me this story. I thought it was amazing. They realized that they were all going to be killed or captured, so Bob was a machine gunner in a rifle squad, and He was carrying a 30 caliber machine gun. His assistant, who helped maintain the machine gun, feed the ammunition, and so on, had been killed, and he was toting this 30 caliber machine gun by himself without a tripod. And as they were trying to flee the enemy, he jumped behind a fallen log, propped up the machine gun, and opened fire on the enemy, causing them to halt their advance and allowing his platoon to escape. And for that, he was awarded the Silver Star. That was a remarkable, amazing display of courage that many of us, many people, I suspect, wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have the guts, the chutzpah, as they say, to do such a thing, to save your fellow humans. So I will just conclude with Bob was a remarkable person in many ways, and he was a tough old bird, and he lived a good long life because he was a tough old bird. And tough old birds know how to survive in the wild. And my sister and Bob's family loved him dearly. He will remain forever in our hearts.
Your story, your strife, I've seen price you pay, the loaded dice, hard time, soft moments now gone, lost child, lost faith, standing small outside gate, your pride, a father's heart stopped still before the start. surprise. When they first come, then they go away. It's a heavy price that we always pay. Your story needs fireworks, a blazing glow, like a fly